Hello and welcome to your practice. Today our theme is Flourish, and this is a refreshing practice to give you a boost and help you to feel your best for the day ahead. So you don't need any props for this. You might want to have a blanket or a cushion, something to provide a little bit of padding or to sit on, but I won't be using anything and just your mat will be fine. So we'll start lying down. When you're ready, come on down to your mat. Bend your knees and place the soles of your feet on the mat. Maybe closing the eyes, tuning into the breath. Slow and steady. Maybe as you begin this practice, you might set an intention to offer yourself some kind of support for the day ahead. A big part of helping ourselves flourish and feel our best is offering ourselves kindness, encouragement, support. See what arises. And if you settle on something, maybe repeating that inwardly to yourself a few times. And just letting that settle into your body as we prepare for movement. And on your next in-breath, arching your lower back away from the spine, pressing your tailbone down, maybe letting the chin move towards the chest. And as you exhale, lengthening the lower back without pressing it into the mat, and let the chin lift away from the chest. Keep going. Slow spinal rolls here, bringing a little bit of movement into the body. And then back into center, finding feels like a neutral spine, neutral pelvis. Stepping the feet under the knees if they're not already there, hands by your sides. And press down into your feet and pull back through the feet, almost as though you're trying to drag your feet back to your shoulders, but they don't move. And as you pull back through the feet, hopefully you'll feel the hamstrings working here. Lift the hips up just a little bit. So it doesn't need to be a super high bridge, just coming into a low bridge. Letting the knees reach forward. So we're lifting the hips up without arching the lower back. So keeping that length in the lower spine. So the support is coming from the hamstrings and the glutes to lengthen the front of the hips. Breathing slow and steady. And then lower back down. Maybe let the knees windshield wipe side to side. And then back to center, and we'll do that again. So pressing down and pulling back through the feet so that you feel the hamstrings engage as you lift the hips up into that bridge. You might come a little higher, but still keeping the lower back long. Keep pulling back through the feet. This is such a lovely movement to do as a counterbalance for the sitting that we do for a lot of the day. Really opening the front of the hips, strengthening the back body muscles. And then slowly lowering back down all the way. Well done. Bring the knees up towards you, hands behind the knees, and just bend and straighten your legs a few times, slowly and gently. And then still with the hands behind the knees, see how you feel about rolling your feet back over your head and rolling along your spine. You might do that a couple of times until you roll all the way up into seated. And we'll come straight around into an all fours position. So finding your way to tabletop, knees about under the hips, hands about under the shoulders, and really spread out your hands, gripping the mat here. Maybe hugging in through the right shoulder and the left hip as you step the right foot back, reach the left fingertips forward, and then lift the foot and lift the hand. So you're balancing on your right hand and your left knee. Hold and breathe, settling the gaze on a still point on the floor. And you can stay like this, or you can bend your right knee and maybe reach your left hand back and tap the inside of your right foot. Maybe tickle the sole of the foot, lifting the chest. And then take your left hand down and your right knee down, recentering in your tabletop. And then you're hugging in through the outer left shoulder, gripping the mat, hugging in through the outer right hip as you step left foot back and take right fingertips forward. So you're still working on the balance here with your foot and your hand touching the mat. And you could stay with that or lift the foot and lift the hand. Hold and breathe. You could stay like this or bend the left knee and reach right hand back. Maybe tap the inside of the foot or tickle the sole of the foot, drawing the chest forward, lifting the heart. And then bring the right hand down, left knee down. Well done. We'll come to child's pose. Knees out wide, big toes touch, coming all the way back. You could bring the elbows onto the mat, palms together. Dropping your forehead down, bringing your hands back towards the space at the back of the neck. And then extending the hands out. Bring yourself back up to all fours. Spreading out your hands, gripping the mat. Curl your toes and we'll come up and back into downward facing dog. You might pedal out your feet a little bit here. Pressing away through the hands. And then walk your feet towards your hands, coming to a standing forward bend. Bending the knees here. Take your hands onto your shins and with your next inhale, draw your heart forward. Really shining the heart forward as you draw the shoulders back, going long through your spine. Breathing here. Notice if the chin is really lifting, can you keep some space at the back of the neck and focus on this lift, this lengthening really coming from the heart. And then hands to the hip creases, press into the feet, hinge to come all the way up to standing. Coming to Tadasana, hands to your heart, thumbs into the center of the chest. Rounding through the feet. Your pelvis is centered over your feet, ribs over pelvis, shoulders and head over ribs. Releasing the hands and turn to face the long edge of your mat and step your feet out wide. A nice wide stance with the feet. And turn your right toes towards the short edge of your mat. So left toes towards long edge, right toes towards short edge. Warrior two stance. So bend your right knee as you take your arms out at shoulder level. Breathing here. Maybe taking the gaze softly over the right middle finger. And keeping the right knee bent. Take your left hand to your left thigh. Turn your right palm up and sweep the right arm up and back over your ear. Keep bending the right knee, lifting the heart, opening the right side of the rib cage. Breathing slow and steady. And then stay with this upper body position as you straighten your right leg, reaching up. And then coming back to center, bringing your right hand down. Turn the right toes to the long edge of the mat and spin the left toes towards the short edge of the mat. And then bend your left knee, warrior two. Again, torso stays strong and centered as you softly gaze towards the left middle finger. Full breaths here. And then take your right hand down as you turn left palm up. And keep bending the left knee as you reach up and back through the left arm. Really lifting from the heart. Opening the left side of the rib cage, the left side of the chest. And then keep this upper body position as you straighten your left leg, reaching up. And then lowering your left hand down, coming back to center. Lift your left toes, turn them to the long edge of the mat, and heel toe your feet into about hip width distance apart. So we're going to work into a balancing pose now, dancer pose. And if you like, you can come towards a wall for this. So you could bring yourself just about arm's length distance, maybe slightly further away from the wall, facing the wall. And this can be great to help you build confidence with this balance, particularly if it's new to you. Otherwise, you're welcome to do it standing on your mat. I'll do it facing the wall. So bringing your feet about hip width distance apart, standing tall, and bringing your weight a little more into your right foot. So really grounding through the right foot. Bend your left knee, bringing your heel towards your bum, and use your left hand to take hold of the top of your left foot. And then from here, keep the length in the lower back as you lengthen the front of the left hip. And start to lean your chest forward as you press the left foot back into the left hand. And as you lean the chest forward, you might reach out through your right fingertips. You could join your thumb and index finger together, or if you're at the wall, rest your fingertips onto the wall. Keep lifting the heart as you press your foot back into your hand. Focus on your breath and a steady gaze point. And then slowly bring everything back to center. Right hand comes down, left knee comes in. Release your left foot, bringing both feet onto your mat. And just pause for a moment, feeling both feet here. Noticing the sensations you can feel. And then getting ready to switch sides. Grounding into the left foot as you bend your right knee. And take your right hand down to hold the top of the right foot, bringing the knees together. Same as before, keep the length in the lower back, lengthening the front of the right hip, and start to lean the chest forward as you press the right foot back into the hand, drawing the knee back, maybe reaching the left hand out. You might place your fingertips on the wall or take your thumb and index finger together. Keep lifting the heart, focusing on your breath. Steady gaze. And then slowly bringing it back. Left hand comes down, knees come back in. Let go of your right foot and bring both feet down onto the mat. And again, feeling both feet here. And if you're not already at the top of your mat, coming to stand in Tadasana at the top of your mat. And with your in-breath, sweep your arms up. And as you breathe out, fold forward over your legs. Slide hands up, shins to find half lift. And then taking your hands down as you fold, walk back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath here. And then bring both knees down onto the mat and cross your ankles. And you can walk your hands back towards your knees and send your bum back over your feet to return to a seated position. And then sending your right leg out, take the sole of your left foot into your right inner thigh. Again, you can be sitting on your mat here, or if you've got your cushion or your blanket, feel free to sit on that for some support. And taking your right hand to your right shin, turn your left palm up and take a side bend to the right, sweeping your left arm over your ear. And turning the heart upwards towards the ceiling. And then come all the way back up. Stay in the seated position, left fingertips behind you. Take your right hand to your left knee and twist to the left. With the inhale, really growing long. With the exhale, maybe twisting a little deeper. And then slowly untwist, come back to center. We'll switch over sides, so sending the left leg out as you bring the sole of the right foot in. And this time, left hand comes to left shin. You'll be turning your right hand up, and again, side bend over the left leg this time, reaching your right arm over your ear. Turning your heart towards the sky, lengthening the side body. And then all the way back up, really sitting tall here as you place right fingertips behind you and take your left hand to the outer right knee and twist to the right. Again, with your inhale, going tall, and with your exhale, rotating a little more. Really feeling the breath in the body. And slowly untwist, coming back to center. And find a comfortable seated position. You might sit cross-legged or any way that's comfortable for you. And coming to sit with a tall spine, resting your hands in your lap or on your knees. Maybe closing over the eyes. Tuning into your breath. Noticing the feeling of the breath moving in and out of the body. Allowing the shoulders to soften, jaw to soften. Bring your hands together in front of your heart, resting the thumbs into the center of the chest. You can drop your chin in towards your heart. And for a moment, reconnecting with that intention you set at the beginning of your practice. Repeating that inwardly. So it's already happening. And carrying that, and whatever else might serve you from this practice, with you into the day ahead. We'll finish with a full breath in and a long breath out. Thank you for your practice. Thanks so much for joining me. Well done.